Hi, I'm Josh, and I'm going to attempt to tell you the story of Jonah and the whale in a way you've probably never heard it told before. And it's presented by Ralph Dewey in one of his books, and I'm going to share that story with you. Now, Jonah is what the Bible calls a prophet. And a prophet is someone who's called by God to deliver his messages to certain individuals. And as you can see, here we have Jonah. And God wanted Jonah to go to some people called the Ninevites. But Jonah didn't want to go to the Ninevites because he was an Israelite. And the Ninevites and the Israelites hated each other. They didn't get along at all. So Jonah decided he was going to hide from God. So what Jonah did, he went down to the beach and he decided he was going to get in a boat to sail away. And we can represent that by this. And Jonah was down and he got in the boat. And the boat set sail and they were sailing along and everything was going fine. Well, God decided to cause this big storm to come up and it started tossing the boat all over and the crew were getting sick and throwing up over the side. It was an ugly sight. And the crew decided that somebody had made their God very angry. And they tried to figure out how to figure out who had made their God so mad. So they decided to draw straws. And wouldn't you know, the shortest straw fell to Jonah. And they said, well, what are we going to do with him? If he's made his God so angry, what can we do to him? And Jonah said, well, why don't you throw me overboard? And sure enough, that's what the crew decided to do. They threw Jonah overboard. Well, when they did, God caused this big fish to come up and swallow Jonah. And Jonah was in this big fish, and he was in the belly of this fish. And he was there for 3 days and 3 nights. And we can represent that by doing this. We can say that Jonah was in there for 1, 2, 3 days and 3 nights. Well, while Jonah was in there, he was feeling really bad for not doing what God had asked him to do. So he prayed and asked God to forgive him and to give him a second chance. And God, being the loving and graceful God that he is, decided he would give Jonah a second chance. So he made that fish swim up to the shore and spit Jonah out onto dry land. And Jonah was able to go and tell the Ninevites the message that God had planned for him. The end.